What I love about looking at movies like Oblivion, like World War Z, other movies I've commented on in the past, like Star Trek, is that they speak to us universally. And because we find in them themes that are so resonant with the Islamic tradition, this is also evidence of the universality of Islamic tradition. What, however, is the problem with the Muslim world today is that we are consumers or reducers. We either take or we destroy, and we rarely produce. We don't produce content that speaks to the very universal questions that are behind Islam and that motivate us as Muslims. But if we look around ourselves and beyond ourselves, we see that these remain questions that we are all as human beings deeply interested in. Although we live in the West in a secularizing age, in which more and more, as Charles Taylor put it, not believing in God is some kind of option, although I don't know if I buy his formulation entirely, nevertheless, the questions that seem to intrigue us and move us are no different than the questions that intrigued and moved the people around the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And so when we look at movies that touch a chord, that earn hundreds of millions of dollars, don't look at them as mindless entertainment. Look at them instead as evidence of what it is people are concerned by. What are we moved by? Why do we see so many American movies that ask us what kinds of violence are okay? How would we deal with the end of the world? What happens when there is no God that we believe in, so to speak? What do we do with technology that can destroy us, but also apparently can save us? How do we deal with the idea of martyrdom and violence when we don't have a traditional language in which to indulge, explore, or accept them? A cursory survey of American movies from the last 15 years could tell you far more about where we are as a culture and a people than I think most of the books and articles that we read on a daily basis could ever aspire to. Because the questions in them are implicit, and so sometimes we are not aware of how we are subconsciously leaking out into the world our own worst fears, our own greatest anxieties, our innermost thoughts, our hopes and dreams, and our concerns that perhaps we have gone off the rails, or we are about to, and we do not know how to stop ourselves from so doing.